4th October 2018. Then, Spain manager Luis Enrique declared that Rodri was a bigger talent than Busquets. This came to the surprise of many. Busquets is regarded as one of the best defensive midfielders ever. Before him, no one really cared about the position. Let me take you back to 2005. If you had asked fans after Chelsea had won their first Premier League title in 2005 who their player of the season was, you would probably hear names like Lampard or Drogba. Instead, their manager, Jose Mourinho, declared it was Claude Makelele. The importance that Makelele had on Chelsea's success would not be seen or understood by many fans or pundits. While at Real Madrid, Claude Makelele won the Champions League in 2002 and La Liga in 2001 and 2003. After he left Madrid, did not win anything until 2007. And after that, nothing since 2012. Yet the club believed that he was surplus to requirements and accepted a bid of £16 million from the newly owned Chelsea in 2003. It was a grave mistake on the part of Madrid, who although possessed players attacking supremos in Zidane, Ronaldo, Figo, and Raul, it was naive and ignorant to think that the Galacticos would only be successful with a strong defensive base. When they sold Makelele and replaced him with David Beckham, their intentions were clear. Madrid sought only to profit from shirt sales, forgetting that the key to success comes from the balance between attack and defense, with the defensive midfielder being key in proving this balance. In a side which contains such attacking talent, a team must have a midfielder who is willing to be disciplined and allow the players in front of him to attack, while he stays positioned in the middle of the pitch. For many fans, they see this type of player as safe, boring, and ultimately a waste. This is simply ignorance of the importance that the water carrier has. Eric Cantona once said about Makelele's predecessor for the French national side, Didier Deschamps, that he was the water carrier, meaning his job was to supply the ball to the better players. What Cantona failed to recognize was that there was nothing wrong with the player having this role. In fact, it was essential, because how else would these talented players get the ball, and who would do the work on the defensive side? It shows a complete disrespect and disregard for the importance that Deschamps had in the France squad, which won the 1998 World Cup and 2000 Euros. Possessing a world-class water carrier is not a waste. In fact, it is a remedy for success. Just ask Spain and France. In 2008, when Pep Guardiola arrived at Camp Nou, he inherited a talented side, which had lost focus and discipline. He sought to improve this with the removal of certain players and the arrival of others. He possessed players like Eto'o, Henry, and a young star Messi, along with the talents of Puyol and Xavi. It was a side with the potential to be great, yet the key role which Guardiola knew only so well was the anchor of the side, the defensive midfielder. As a player for Barcelona, this is where Pep played under Cruyff, who spoke of Guardiola as his pivot. A key player in the side, keeping possession and setting the tempo. In that first treble-winning season, Guardiola had the option to use Yaya Touré, a silky Ivorian bought from Monaco the season before. However, he instead favored a young academy player who he had worked with for Barca B. His name was Sergio Busquets, and many were unsure about Guardiola's decision-making. This young, tall, somewhat gangly player was surely not good enough to play for Barcelona. Yet Busquets had already shown his worth to the players. Xavi said, "I've never seen a player with so many tactical options during the game, who's got so much quality as well as physical presence. It's incredible." Adding, "Busquets sees you quickly, he always takes the simple option. He reads the game well and moves the ball with precision, in as few touches as possible." Xavi regards Busquets as one of touch passer of the ball in the world, a huge compliment and an indication of his necessity to the side. There's no escaping the fact that Busquets is a world-class player and was arguably the best in the world in his position. You can see just how vital he is to the Barcelona way. In the middle of the field, it is Busquets more than any other player who plays the penetrative passes, and it is Busquets' influence that pushes those possession figures above the 70% marker. Guardiola saw in Busquets himself that he simply replicates his role when he plays at Barca. No wonder he values and rates Busquets so highly. He sees himself in his position and thus has been able to teach and further Busquets' development. He is the modern Guardiola without a doubt. Busquets has a great ability to know where his teammates are before he receives the ball. His vision and awareness allow him to keep possession and play passes quickly, alleviating any pressure from defenders. His role as the pivot or anchor enables Barcelona to play the expansive football they wish because he offers such solidity and confidence on the ball. He is the modern midfielder, strong, agile, disciplined, and excellent in position. His mentor, Guardiola, completes the picture. The legacy that Xavi, Puyol, and other veterans of this team will leave, Sergio will leave too. Busquets in his later years at Barcelona was responsible for integrating new players. Just watching his behavior, everyone will see how things are done in this club. Tactically, the defensive midfielder is imperative for the sole reason that he offers solidity to his side, allowing fullbacks to move up the pitch who know that their anchor will cover for them. Dani Alves was able to attack so much because Busquets provided him cover. The balance of Barcelona was kept through Busquets, a key yet often neglected role, and with Messi in the side, it is hard not to see past him and Barcelona's attacking qualities. Yet the coach knows how fundamental Busquets is to the tactic being effective. In possession, Busquets has evolved his position too. He was the pivot and played in that deeper midfield role. Yet at times he became part of the 3-4-3 formation and dropped back into the defensive line. His versatility and ability to do this show his qualities. Guardiola saw in Busquets the future of the defensive midfielder, the ability to start attacks and dictate play. The players that came before Deschamps, Makelele and Dunga for Brazil, were regarded as destroyers. Yet they were more than that. The defensive midfielder was required to do two jobs: break up attacks and start them. The key attributes of discipline, both positional and tactical, are understanding and anticipation to read the game and selflessness, to allow others to get the headlines and glory. Knowing that your job is to help the team is important for this position to be perfected. As Busquets says, "The coach knows that I am an obedient player who likes to help. And if I must run to the wing to cover someone's position, great. I genuinely enjoy watching the fullback run up the pitch and going across to fill it." Mascherano, who would have seen Busquets as his competition when he initially moved to Camp Nou, regards Busquets very highly. Xavi and Iniesta are the most creative midfielders in the world, but above all there is Busquets. He has the talent to play for any team anywhere in the world. But he's made to play for this team. Literally, he's the perfect guy. He robs the ball, he has superb technical skills and brings tactical order. I watch him and try to learn from him. There's no single moment which can define Sergio Busquets. His brilliance lies in his consistency, his unerring efficiency, and his ethereal, almost otherworldly elegance. For the best part of the decade, Busquets has been the fulcrum of perhaps the greatest side in club football. The axis on which the Catalan club rotate, he has played with a deceptive simplicity, an assured and fluid proficiency. To watch Busquets is to watch an embodiment of footballing intelligence. Few players can boast such technical and tactical excellence. There are fewer still that can interpret space with such radar-like accuracy. He is unique and in many ways difficult to assess as a lone entity. Such has been his responsibility as a cog, a functioning part of a machine made up of more glamorous nuts and bolts. But it has always seemed like he was tailor-made for Pep Guardiola's record-breaking Barcelona side and for Vicente del Bosque's dominant Spain. You watch the game, you don't see Busquets. The Spanish coach once said, "You watch Busquets, you see the whole game." In come Man City star Rodri. Rodri has established himself as one of the best midfielders in European football in recent years. After finishing 5th in the 2023 Ballon d'Or rankings, the midfielder then went on to help City win a 4th consecutive Premier League trophy and win the European Championship with Spain. Perhaps it's because he's Spanish. Perhaps it is the reverence in which Pep Guardiola holds him. More likely, it's because he is a treble-winning, undroppable, ball-playing defensive midfielder. Throughout his career, Rodri has been compared to Barcelona legend Sergio Busquets. Stylistically, there are of course plenty of similarities. But the truth is that while Rodri came to City to fill the Busquets-shaped hole in the Guardiola puzzle, he has developed into something entirely different. He is still an elite ball winner, and he still parades the area in front of his team's defense, hovering up position and distributing it to the attackers. He also still gets the ball off the defense regularly and plays a key role in City's build-up play. But there has been an enormous rise in his attacking output this season, taking his tally of goal involvements for the season to 17. His touches in the opposition box have risen season on season, and they are up at 2.8 per 90 in 2023-24. He's making more passes in the final third, having more shots, and creating more chances per 90 than in any other season in his career. The Spaniard is also providing 0.52 goals or assists per 90, which is comfortably his highest ever rate and translates as better than one every other game. an astonishing rate for a player who is still primarily a defensive screen. Comparing Rodri's touch map for his first season, that's 2019 to 2020, at City to 23 and 24, it paints a striking picture. He's averaging 20 more touches per 90 this season, 125.9 than in any other campaign for City. And the four zones that have seen the biggest increases have been in the attacking third of the pitch. What Rodri is showing us is that he is no longer just a holding midfielder. He is a complete midfielder. A complete midfielder is someone who dominates physically, tactically, and technically. Good examples of these are Yaya Toure, Bastian Schweinsteiger, and Patrick Vieira. These types of midfielders dominate all round. Their teams miss them when they are not available. For example, Man City have not lost a Premier League game with Rodri since February 2023 to Spurs. Even through the eye test, Rodri is better defensively and has a deeper passing range, scores more goals, and is stronger physically. He is also more versatile. He has played under Simeone and Pep Guardiola, who are complete opposites. He's proven he can play in a team that doesn't dominate the ball. With all this taken into consideration, I believe Rodri has now surpassed Busquets, as he is no longer just a world-class holding midfielder. He is one of the best midfielders in general and could potentially win a Ballon d'Or. Special mention here for Michael Carrick and Xabi Alonso. For me, the two players who evolved this position to become more than just a continuity player, but a creator and continuity in one. Both could dictate from deep, yet also be able to control the tempo, keep passes short, and recycle possession. Their quality under pressure and intelligence was often ignored or not appreciated. It's not always easy to be wowed by this type of player. It's the kind of player which teammates appreciate, which coaches know they can rely on, and which the fans who watch every minute across many seasons grow to really love and appreciate. Perhaps you only really know how important this player is when he's not there. So what do you think? Is Rodri better than Busquets? Are we forgetting how good Busquets was in his prime? Let us know below.